Meanwhile, NFL training camps continue as we speak, including the Colts. And Anthony Richardson out on the field this morning. Indy's quarterback entering his third season in the league. Played in only 4 games his rookie season, 11 games a year ago after dealing with injuries. He worked through a shoulder issue in the offseason. New on SportsCenter, Richardson on the competition in camp with Daniel Jones now in the mix.
I just got to work as if I am going to be the day one starter, regardless of what decision they make, I'm still working, trying to improve, and, they're going to make the best decision for the team, and that's ultimately what we need. This team wants to win the Super Bowl. It's not about me, it's about the team. So I'm just working as if I am the starter, and if I do get the job, go to God.
Well, our reporter, Jeremy Fowler, he joins us here from Colts camp. And, Jeremy, you heard Anthony Richardson already saying he sees himself as a starter. But I know you spoke with Shane Steichen. What is he saying, though, about that quarterback competition? Who's in front?
Brian, Steichen was legitimately excited. He just saw both his quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones, going blow for blow. They both had a really clean day from a decision-making standpoint. So he was so excited he was running off the field. I had to go flag him down because he wanted to go watch the film and see exactly what happened. Now, when I asked him if any quarterback has created separation just yet, he said it's too close to call.
Well, I mean, when they're battling and they're neck and neck, obviously, we're going to let this thing play out. But both have made plays the last couple of days, so really pleased with the progress of both of them.
Just in the big picture, what do you want to see? Like, what's most important to you as far as how you checklist this thing?
I think the operation, the consistency on a day-to-day basis, obviously, knowing the situation, taking care of the football, being smart, and finding completions. We got to make sure our offense is moving, at a high rate, up and down the field, and that's what we'll be looking for.
Steichen also likes how both quarterbacks have experienced failure at the NFL level. With Jones, it didn't work out with the New York Giants. With Richardson, he got benched last year. Both high picks who have tried to work through that adversity. He believes that gives each player their own distinctive edge.
All right, so let's focus more then on Richardson, because what has the team been seeing from him now that he's entering year 3?
He looks like a different player. Steichen told me from a leadership standpoint, he has taken it to another level after last year. The message has been sent. There has to be some urgency for him. I talked to Richardson off to the side after practice, and he told me simply, I wasn't good enough last year. I have to pick up the slack and be a better worker. He said that he's altered his diet, he's altered his mechanics, he's got a wider base so the ball doesn't sail on him, high throws from the pocket. And so far, it's been good from a decision-making standpoint. He's really firmly in the mix. I saw him go chase down receivers after he threw to him, and if they missed on a play, he would go talk to him. So he's definitely showing a lot more. And really, Richardson pointed out something interesting in the quarterback battle. He said he's not really competing against Daniel Jones. He's competing against himself. He said, even if Tom Brady was in the room with me, I would have to just try to find a way to win the job.
It's interesting because their GM, Colts GM, Chris Ballard, said just the other day, he admitted this is a make-or-break season for Richardson, but also said you can't give up on the kid. By the way, the Colts host the Dolphins in the season opener September 7th. That is Jeremy Fowler with the latest. That's Amina Smith. I'm Brian Custer. This is SportsCenter.
It is SportsCenter.
Let's get back to some of these football, and let's get to Jets camp because the Jets quarterback isn't grounded anymore. Justin Fields back on the field and participating in 11-on-11 drills after dislocating his toe last Thursday during training camp. Fields only did 7-on-7 work over the weekend, but now participating fully in practice. And new on SportsCenter, Fields talked about that toe injury just last week.
At first, it just, felt we get our feet stepped on all the time at practice, so it just felt normal at first when I first got stepped on. But I tried walking off, and it felt weird, like something was almost stuck in my toe. So I didn't really know what to think. I just knew something was wrong. So just went up on the sidelines, got carted and got the MRI and X-ray. And luckily, they said it was just dislocated it. So, God was definitely looking out that day, but, I'm glad to be back on the field working.
Fields is looking to lead the Jets to their first playoff appearance since 2010. That's tied with the Buffalo Sabres' longest active playoff drought across the NBA, NFL, NHL, and MLB. And expectations aren't exactly high either. Their 5.5 win total is tied for the second fewest in the league.
All right, let's go over to the NFL and South Beach. Dan Marino was at practice this morning saying hello to Tua. Year 6 for Tua coming off of a season where he missed 6 games. Miami is hoping for a healthy Tua Tagovailoa and to get back to the playoffs. Here's linebacker Tyrell Dodson and what he loves about his unit. It's new on SportsCenter.
It's like Avengers. Everyone got their own superpower, you know. We're getting closer and closer. JB's a hell of a guy. Willie's a hell of a guy. Like KJ Britt, you know, country boy. You know, we're just all gelling, man, and we're just trying to move as one.
Reporter Dan Graziano is live with us in Miami Gardens. We just heard from Tyrell Dodson talking about that linebacking room being like the Avengers. A good analogy right there. But there's a lot more uncertainty in other position groups on this roster. Dan, what more can you tell us about the secondary and the challenges that they're working through?
Yeah, if the linebacker group is the Avengers, the secondary is more like MASH because of all the injuries. They're very banged up back there, and they've had to add as a result. Remember, they did trade cornerback Jalen Ramsey to the Steelers. That brought back Minkah Fitzpatrick. But at cornerback, they were young, and then they started having injuries. They brought in a veteran, Artie Burns. He got hurt. Cater Kohu got hurt the other day. So you see at the bottom here, they signed Jack Jones and Mike Hilton to bolster that cornerback room. And they're hoping that they can, keep these guys healthy here going forward. Obviously, they have to sort out who the starters are, who's playing where, but they need everybody on the field to do that. If there's a question mark on the Dolphins' defense, they feel good about the pass rush. Obviously, the linebackers are the Avengers, so that's cool. But the defensive back room needs to get sorted out before the start of the season.
Avengers good, MASH maybe not so much. Let's pivot to the offense. Last week, Tua Tagovailoa said that Tyreek Hill has had to rebuild relationships with some of his teammates, and that's after Tyreek Hill last season had tweeted out, "He's out, peace out," whatever the emoji was that he was referring to. What more can you tell us about how Tua and Hill are working to mend fences there?
Yeah, conversations I've had today with people behind the scenes, it sounds like the coaching staff is okay with the way Tua's handling it because, Amina, the theme around here right now is like last year was so bad that we being the Dolphins can no longer use winning to mask any potential issues. So the people I talk to here say that the fact that Tua and Tyreek are handling this head on and not running away from it or not out there saying platitudes, stuff to make it sound like it's smoother than it is a positive thing because they really feel like what will come out of that is a more authentic relationship that will help them bond together and win. So it's interesting. Dolphins had high expectations this time last year, started 2-6. Now the expectations are not there, and they really feel like they can get to work on some of the stuff that went wrong last year without thinking that, oh, it's all okay because we're winning games.
Yeah, well, taking accountability is definitely a step in the right direction. Dan Graziano with the latest from Miami. Thanks so much.